lot of people considering this over the long Memorial weekend. That growing veterans scandal sparking an ugly spat between some veterans groups and a top Senate Republican. North Carolina Senator Richard Burr taking aim at the veterans groups that refused to call for the resignation of Eric Shinseki, writing they are, quote, more interested in defending the status quo within the VA, protecting their relationships with the agency, and securing access to the secretary and his inner circle. Well, the veterans of foreign wars calling the letter a, quote, cheap shot. This is clearly one of the most dishonorable and grossly inappropriate acts that we've witnessed in more than 40 years of involvement with the veteran community and breaches the standards of the United States Senate. Whoa, that's a mouthful. Alex Nicholson, the legislative director of the Iraq and Afghanistan Veterans of America. Thanks for coming back, and good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Do you think Burr had a point, though?
Well, there's definitely some issues with the veterans community and access to the secretary, but in terms of painting the veterans groups with one broad stroke, the ranking member of the Veterans Affairs Committee, Senator Burr, was way out of line. That was just not the case. Certainly not the case with Iraq and Afghanistan Veterans of America. I can tell you that firsthand.
So you think Burr was out of line? Is that what you're saying?
Burr was definitely out of line there. I think he was getting some bad advice from folks. Painting the veterans groups with one broad stroke was not the way to go. I think he definitely owes the groups an apology.
Wow. Okay, we're going to reach out to his office and get him on the air. But what he's saying is that you're more upset over a letter I wrote than you are the mistreatment of our veterans. So square that.
Again, he was trying to paint the groups with one broad stroke. That's certainly not true. It's certainly not true with our organization, and I don't think it's true with any organization. You know, everybody's trying to get to the bottom of this. Some are moving slower than others. You know, we are not willing to wait until June or July when an IG report comes out for action to be taken. I mean, we've been calling for action from the beginning. We have been extremely critical of the administration and the VA over this and the backlog and many other issues. We're not willing to sit back and wait. And I think Burr jumped the gun a little bit.
Okay, but what he said, though, is that they're defending the status quo and suggested that is simply not acceptable.
Well, it's also simply not true. I mean, if you look at the actual testimony of these veterans groups, especially ours, there's just no way that you can defend that statement. I mean, I don't know what hearing he was at where he got that, because that's simply not the case. If you look at the testimony, it was just not the case.
Has this story moved in the last couple of days? Are we still kind of stuck when it comes to this issue and the veterans and helping them?
You know, there have definitely been some movement. I think we keep hearing city after city after city with the VA come out with a new development. I think there's going to be more coming out. You know, San Antonio, Fort Collins, Phoenix, Austin, they keep coming out. More and more problems keep surfacing. And as this continues, you're going to see more whistleblowers coming forward. You know, we partnered with POGO to allow and enable whistleblowers to come forward and talk about the problems that are happening within the VA. I think you're going to see more of that, and there's going to definitely be some more developments within the next week.
Well, that could be another bombshell. How much worse will it get then, Alex?
It's hard to say. I mean, it's hard to say. We'll see. But I think you'll definitely see more coming out. This is not the end of the scandal. Is it your sense
that the new revelations will be worse than we've heard already?
I think you're going to see continuing developments along the lines of what we've already heard. Who knows what else is out there? I mean, that's the thing. We don't know how deep this scandal goes. We don't know how high it goes. We don't know how wide it is. We're going to find that out in the next couple of weeks as more whistleblowers keep coming forward, as more people feel more comfortable now and empowered to talk about what they've been silenced on all along.
That's a great point, too. Alex, we'll stay in touch with you, okay? Alex Nicholson, IAVA. Thank you for your time.
Of course.